Hello and welcome to day 50 of the 365-day meditation challenge, where I challenge myself to meditate for 1 hour a day in 2 sessions of 31 minutes. This is session 2 of the day. And I want to talk a bit about practicality, the practicability of things, the experience rather than the understanding. Because most people think that if you understand something, you know how to do it. And that's not learning. Learning without practice is so unproductive, and that's why people cannot have results, because they do not understand the difference between understanding something and putting it in practice. So it's obvious for a skill like painting, for instance, the difference between the person who has painted 1,000 paintings is obvious from the person who hasn't painted even 10. So there is a big gap over there in experience. And people overestimate the importance of understanding rather than practice. And they also have a bad habit of just focusing too much on this, which is talent. They think this is super important. And they also have, I'm searching for another title card that I have around here, which is this one. They focus way too much in the beginning on this, on being judgmental of whatever they do. And they think that this is the key to unlocking real mastery, which is not. It's actually hindering true mastery, because to have a lot of experience, you need to lower this, you need to lower the judgment in order to be able to produce and to make a lot of things and to fail. So I have another title card around here, if I can find it, which is, yay, super super nice to not find exactly what to not have this. I don't have this. I don't have clarity, and I don't have everything put in order. So, yeah, it's not here. So, failure. It's called failure. To increase the rate of failure is synonymous with increasing the output, because if you have let's say a 10% failure rate, that means you are not doing enough. Like, you should have close to a 40 to 50% failure rate. That's exactly how you learn, you progress, and how you create a lot. But failure cannot exist when this is there, because you want everything to be perfect. And perfection requires effort, and it hinders the the ability to really be able to produce a lot and to make a lot of things and to gain a lot of experience. So it is through experience that you gain clarity on exactly what you want to do, and how you want to do it, and develop a real understanding of the skills that you want to develop. They think that just sitting around and watching videos on a topic, it's an education. No, that's not an education. If you do not, it's obvious for skills where it involves you doing things, but it's not really obvious for other things like business, or like, I don't know, other things, other skills. I cannot think of them right now, but one of them is business. People think that doing business, it's all about understanding and watching videos and getting the right information, when no, that's not really how you learn and how you understand how to do something. You have to make a difference between knowing something and doing something. If you want to do things, you need experience, you need practice, and you need to fail. It is in these moments where you fail that you understand more about yourself, about the craft, about the thing and the projects that you want to create. It is there where you find the most education, let's say. And you develop another thing which is called problem solving. You develop the skill of problem solving, and that can transfer to other things because a lot of people who are multidisciplinary, they tend to be very good at extracting the ideas from one skill and putting that idea to another skill. Like, for instance, let's say painting and color grading. It's much easier to color grade if you know how to paint. And it's much easier to the other way around. If you know how to color grade and you understand colors, you know how to better to better paint and mix colors because you understand ideas and concepts that are multidisciplinary. Contrast or colors or composition even, and light and dark and all kinds of things that have applicability to other areas of your life. And it's the same with speaking in front of the camera. If you are able to speak in front of the camera very articulately and construct ideas without any need to know exactly what you're going to talk about and what's the end, and without a script, you will be able to better compose and better come up with ideas and better structure your thinking and your writing. So it's a better way to really get better at ideas and at writing because you structure your thinking in a way that it can be live, it can have live delivery, and it can have a lot of sense, and it can take someone from one small thing, which is the idea of practice, to this idea where all that practice is not just for that skill, it's a meta practice. You understand how to, first of all, you understand how to learn and how to practice, and that will transfer to other skills as well. The idea of understanding the learning part, the doing part, and the extraction of small little increments of insight from that practice. And then specifically, what you extract sometimes has application in other areas of your life. And skills that you develop for this particular uh, project may help you in later projects, or failures, because that's more important. Failures in this project can teach you how to not fail 10 years in the future at another project that has nothing to do with the first project. I think if more people had 7 to 10 failed businesses, they would be a better businessman because it's obvious. It's obvious if you failed at 10 businesses that you know how to start a business, you know what not to do, and you know what went wrong in those, and they are invaluable. Those failed attempts at business are not really failed attempts. You just paid the price to learn the education that business that failed business has provided. That was the payment. And when you succeed, it's when you are over that debt that somebody called it the ignorance debt. There is no such thing as a failed business. It's only ignorance debt. If you view it in this manner, you understand that failure is to be expected and it's to be encouraged, because you don't you, you try your best not to fail, of course, but you include that into your plans. Like, what do I do if I fail? Most people think that you should burn the boats and have no way back, but that's foolish, because that will lead you, after 10 failed businesses, it will lead you to have nothing to show, and in debt, and with failed relationships, and will with in a worse position that you were in. Even though you learned so much, it will leave you with a bad taste in your mouth. So don't burn the boats. Have a secondary plan. Have a failure plan. Have it's like, yeah, it's exactly that. It's burning the boats. Why would you burn the boats? In case something happens, you might want those boats. Like, they are there for your safety, just in case. You know, It's like you don't trust yourself to drive this vehicle to success, and you jump ship way too fast. I don't think people jump ship way too fast. I think they just are not expecting to fail at something new that they are doing. And they are not viewing that as a stepping stone for their next business. They just view it as the holy grail of my existence. No, it is just a stepping stone for your success. Failure is just a stepping stone towards success. You take another step and another step and another step. These steps can be from 2 weeks to 5 years. You might invest 5 years in a business and have it fail, and you have nothing to show for it but experience. But then the next one you take and you make successful in a year, and you are financially free. So that's exactly what and how to think about understanding and practice. Understanding has nothing to do with practice. It's nice, it's good to have, it's good, but you have to understand that's just here. It's two levels of abstraction from actually doing the thing. So, yeah, it's a crazy idea. Now, let's start the meditation. And there you go. The meditation is over. I was getting very, very distracted by a video that I wanted to make where I clone myself and do a lot of things. Like, well, it's going to be interesting to do that video. I don't know if I can do it. It's a very, let's say, weird video. It takes quite a bit of planning and editing, and because I don't want to just clone myself. I had this kind of a little bit of a dream of mine to do a video where I not only clone myself because that's quite easy, but I also interact with objects. Like for instance, hats. I start the video saying you have to wear so many hats, and then I put a hat on, and then I talk about the fact that it's more than one skill. You have to learn so many things to be a whatever. And then I start talking about the first skill, which is, I don't know, editing, video editing, let's say. And I take some other person, well, myself. I come from this angle and I start going in, taking the first cap and putting it on and going and starting to edit in the background. And then when continue talking, this talking head, like imagine me, and in the background this is happening, and then the other person comes from here, which is still me, and takes another hat, and then moves to writing ideas and throws the ideas on the table, like on this table, and the papers just go on the table, so in front of the person who's speaking, so it's super intricate in that way. It's an interesting video, but I don't know if I can pull it off, and it's going to be very time consuming. I can see it taking about a week and a half, and just and doing it all. I cloned myself before with interaction, like I the only thing that I did is basically I was talking and I was saying that I needed some brown paint, and then I came in and gave myself brown paint, and then I picked up the brown paint. Uh, so exactly at the moment that, so it was like this: the other me put the painting down and the paint down, and the other me, right when he took the hand, I take it. But that takes a lot of planning because this does not exist on the table, like it's not there yet. So it's, you have to somehow plan everything so that, do it in a very specific sequence so that this is actually on the table, but when the other guy comes in, it's not showing at all. So you, it's so messed up to think about it. It's like it bends your mind, but it is possible to, the moment this person takes its hand, this other person to take the same object from the table. So it's some kind of editing trickery that you do, and it's no, it just has have to do with the, because the editing is quite simple, but the plan is very complex because you have to have this thing. It's it, well, it's a simple one to figure out, but one with six people or five people, five clones, and interacting with each other and with objects, not with each other, but with objects around, that really sells the idea. Like, I noticed that the fact that I spent the half an hour that it took to really dial in the timing and push it as close as possible to the, when I picked up the the thing really sold the I didn't post anywhere that, but it's interesting to see it, and you couldn't tell, like you really couldn't tell that how it was that it was an editing trick or something like that, because the editing was simple. I just had to mask some things and put the other video on top of this one, so it wasn't that you couldn't really tell. So even if you zoomed in quite a bit, so it's interesting. It's like that guy who's is doing magician works and magician things with video. He's like taking things, and turns out this painting was just a small painting like this big that he can pick up from the background. So he plays with your mind. It's the same thing, but it's very, very difficult to plan, to execute, and to get it right. It's super difficult, especially if you have a like a longer video to do. Like I was thinking about 8 to 10 minutes, including some person in the background doing something that actually takes hours. Like I don't know, paint. I was thinking of also changing the background to be a different color while the video is running. So yeah, that's that's just crazy. Like it takes a lot of planning, and if you change the wall, you only have one chance to get it right, because you cannot, it's super difficult to just paint it again and then wait for it to dry and then paint it again. It's like, yeah, and you cannot move the camera at all. You cannot touch the camera. You just have to do everything. Like that's the whole point. You have to really do everything in one single kind of shot and plan everything so that you can do it in one shot, so the environment doesn't change by accident. Like say you accidentally just did some bad wind and a gust of wind like this, and the curtains don't look the same, or the dog accidentally touched something, or you forgot to do something else and you moved an object just a centimeter, and it's it ruins the effect, because you can see the cut, you can see the problems. So yeah, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.